Hello, I'm Tap G.
And I'm Surfer Clock.
And welcome to What's the Attraction?
Where our work is your vacation.
Hey,
Tap G, what did Jim Henson, Don Bluth, and Steven Spielberg have in common?
The ability to make great entertainment?
Well, not the answer I'm looking for, but...
Oh, right! You said Don Bluth.
Hey! All Dogs Go to Heaven was awesome.
Hey! The Pebble and the Penguin wasn't.
Hey! An American Tail.
Hey! Rockadoodle.
Hey! Secret and M.
Hey! Titan AE.
Hey! Dragon's Lair.
Hey! A Troll in Central Park.
Shut up. No.
Okay, I'll bite. What do they have in common?
Dinosaurs. Jim Henson had the dinosaur sitcom, Bluth had The Land Before Time, and Steven Spielberg had Jurassic Park. Surprisingly, aside from Fantasia's Rite of Spring segment, Disney as a whole had very little to do with dinosaurs. Then, something awesome happened in 1998.
On Earth Day, Disney premiered its fourth park, Disney's Animal Kingdom, which celebrated the animals of today
by showcasing Kilimanjaro safaris and the Maharaja Jungle Trek with tigers, elephants, hippos, okapis, and so on.
The animals of yesterday
in Dinoland, USA with dinosaurs, naturally.
And the animals that never were.
A whole land called Beastly Kingdom dedicated to mythical creatures like dragons and unicorns, which never came to fruition.
At the time, Dinoland USA featured only one attraction, a white knuckle nail biter of T-Rex proportions called Countdown to Extinction. 2 years later, Disney released a movie called, with painstaking originality, Dinosaur. Looks like them critics, boys. Shut up, Waylon! Ugh, no. We actually watched this movie before we cut today's show. And despite the impressive CGI in the movie of the dinosaurs, it's about as mediocre a Disney movie as it can get. Boring characters, recycled storyline, and need I elaborate what's wrong when one of the characters says the phrase, love monkey?
It's decidedly a bad movie, no doubt, and it didn't do so hot at the box office in 2000. But the realistic-looking dinosaurs found a better home at Disney's Animal Kingdom. Because the ride already prominently featured an iguanodon and a carnotaurus, the dinos already starred in the movie, only two things really changed. One, the statue out front changed from a Styracosaurus to that of the film star, Aladar. Second was the name. Once Countdown to Extinction, now Dinosaur.
For 10 years until 2008, the ride, regardless of the title, was sponsored by fast food Uber conglomerate McDonald's. Today the ride is unsponsored, but not all elements of its former sponsor are gone. When you enter the ride's queue at the loading dock, look for the 3 parallel pipes colored white, yellow, and red. Oh, and that nerd in 8th grade who helped you cheat off his paper in chemistry to help you pass, bring him with you. On those pipes are the chemical mixtures for mayonnaise, mustard, and ketchup. You can impress him and thank him at the same time.
The ride story goes like this. You enter the queue, which is actually a faux museum called the Dino Institute. The exhibits have a slightly cheesy quality to them, but the best section is the rotunda, complete with a Carnotaurus skeleton and an overhead voiceover of our favorite celebrity scientist, Bill Nye the Science Guy. The pre-show introduces Dr. Marsh, the director of the museum, who informs us we'll go back in time to visit the dinosaurs in real time machines.
Then we get Dr. Grant Seeker. Get it? Grant Seeker?
Grant Seeker.
Played by Wallace Langham, best known for his role on CSI. He describes the Time Rover, our time machine made to look and feel like a Humvee Jeep, and informs us he's sending us back to the late Cretaceous period to pick up an iguanodon and bring him back to the present. Dr. Marsh interrupts him to remind him that the tours only go to the early Cretaceous and the computers are locked that way. But Seeker secretly unlocks the coordinates and gives a few safety reminders and assures us we'll be in and out before the extinction-inducing asteroid of fiery death strikes Earth, says the guy who sends us to 10 minutes before that happens. I sense nothing but rainbows and puppy dogs from here on out, don't you?
Board your Time Rover, get shot through the easy bake oven of Time Warp, and
and don't forget the dance steps!
Dance steps?
Sure, I'll show you. Okay. First, it's just a jump to the left. Put your hands on your hips. Let's do the time warp again. Let's do the time warp. Hey, who killed the music?
No. Just no. And soon after you go hurtling through time and space, your time rover lands somewhere amid the thick prehistoric jungle of the Cretaceous period, 65 million years back, give or take a day. Seeker, who put a tracking device on the Iguanodon on an earlier trip, homes in on the autopilot to close in on the dinosaur signal. But the jungle's dense, bumpy, and extremely dark.
At first, it's kind of nifty to see all the dinosaurs. A Styracosaur grazes, an Alioramus gobbles his dinner, you roll over a Saltosaurus' tail, but slowly, the dinosaurs become a little more aggressive. Compsognathus leap over your vehicle, a raptor watches from nearby, and pterosaurs start to dive bomb at you. Then, the Jeep sensor warns you, it's too late. The asteroid is closing into Earth faster than Dr. Seeker anticipated, but the stubborn doctor refuses to pull you out. Suddenly, it appears.
Carnotaurus, a bloodthirsty, 20-foot-tall, ugly son of a dinosaur, jumps right beside your vehicle, his beady eyes focused on you. Seeker guns it, but the first traces of the asteroid are appearing in the sky. The Carnotaur is hot on your tail, and Seeker won't call off the search until you find the Iguanodon. So, if you can handle this kind of pressure, you might like this ride.
Let's face it, most working Americans are used to end-of-the-world deadlines, aren't they?
This isn't one of your top faves, is it, Tap G?
Honestly, I hate this ride.
You do?
I really do. I'm not the kind of person that sees being scared as a form of entertainment. So you won't catch me at places like Halloween Horror Nights unless it's for this podcast.
Yeah.
But this is the time where I have to stop and say, okay, aside from personal preferences, how does this ride actually stand up on its own? Because although I may not like being scared, this is a very well done thrill ride.
It is. It has all of the great elements of a thrill ride. It's dark, it's fast, it's loud, and, well, most certainly scary.
No kidding. And starting with those dinosaurs.
Yeah.
The movement, the level of detail, and of course the darkness actually really adds a lot of ambiance and hides a lot of the animatronics.
It also hides some of the most realistic motion you'll ever see in animatronics like that.
Oh, it's impressive. These guys buckled down and did their research. They could have been like, I don't want to say Spielberg, but just released a T-Rex, a Triceratops, a Brontosaurus, and a Stegosaur. But no, these guys sat down and said, Carnotaurus, Compsognathus, Styracosaur, Alioramus, and so on.
Yeah, I would say the thrill level on this, I would put it equivalent to a low-level coaster. Now, you're not moving actually as fast as a roller coaster, but you do have that sort of kind of bumpy motion, and definitely the thrills of being scared is a lot like being on a roller coaster.
Now, these vehicles themselves are basically an embellished version of what they had at Disneyland Park, the Indiana Jones ride. They're just ride vehicles, but they have the inner simulator that bucks you around to make you feel like you're driving around over and under through the jungle.
Now, we don't have an Indiana Jones ride at Walt Disney World, but Disneyland in California does, and their technology was actually first before Dinosaur, which I found very interesting because I didn't even encounter the Indiana Jones ride until 2009, and I thought, oh, this is very dinosaur-like. But little did I know it was actually the Indiana Jones that came first.
Chicken before the egg, huh?
Indeed.
I love the queue itself. I love the Carnotaur skeleton. I love the rotunda and the cheesy museum murals. It's none of it's interactive like most things are in the Magic Kingdom these days, but it doesn't need to. Grabs people's attention, and I love the Bill Nye voiceover.
Oh, yes. But let's talk a little bit about the story itself.
It's a good story.
It really is. It's actually a really good story, and you get that wonderful sense of accomplishment I always love on theme park rides.
It has great characters, it has great build-up, and there is a hysterical payoff when you get into the gift shop. It is a Disney ride after all.
Yeah,
but
no spoilers.
But keep an eye on those video monitors when you get off the ride. Not just the ones that take your picture, so yeah, your picture does get taken on the ride.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I really dislike about it is the title. I liked the title Countdown to Extinction. It had a sense of grandeur. It had a sense of imposition. Like, this is going to be heavy. This is going to be intense. Watch out. But now it's Dinosaur, which implies one dinosaur.
You're just going to ride by and it's like, hi, kids. I love you. No,
let's not even go there. Let's not even go there. It could imply that Barney's waiting for you, or it could imply something bigger's coming after you. You don't know.
But there's more than one dinosaur.
Exactly.
Why did they go with the title Dinosaur?
I think it was just because of the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be fair. it's really the best place for that movie, because as a film, it doesn't stand up very well on its own, but at least here it has a little bit more of a purpose.
Yeah, and one thing I've also noticed about the ride is that I remember the first time I rode it and like the last time I rode it, it seems to have actually gotten faster.
Mm-hmm, it has.
And now a period of years passed by, so maybe I just feel like it's faster. Oh, is it actually faster?
I think it actually is. I think one of my tour guide books, I think it's the unofficial guide that says it's gotten faster.
Huh. I don't know. You do kind of speed through some of the stuff that's there, and I feel like that may be a grab for just a teeny tiny bit more capacity on Disney's part.
Oh, and by the way, I love the reference to the Easy Bake Oven.
Yes.
I mean, when you go through that time machine itself, you see these big red coils on the side. You're like, is this a toaster?
I did feel slightly warmer after I got out. Well, in any case, for this attraction, I am going to go for a 3.5 out of 5.
And despite my personal preferences of not liking being scared, I have to take a step back and look at it as it really is. A great ride, great theming, great story. Only tip about it is the title. I'm giving it a 4 out of 5.
All right. So that's a 3.5 out of 5 from Surfer Clock and a 4 out of 5 from Tap G.
So, thrill seekers, beware. This ride dials up the scary in a massive way. The dinosaurs are very realistic looking, and the darkness adds a lot to the intensity. You must be at least 40 inches or 102 centimeters tall to ride. Children must be at least that tall and 7 years old to ride also. If they're that tall but they're not yet 7, they need to ride with someone who's at least 14 years old.
Wheelchairs and scooters are welcome in the queue, but you'll still need to transfer into the Time Rover. Service animals are not permitted onto the ride. Please note, if you have neck, back, or heart issues, high blood pressure, or any other physical conditions that could be exacerbated by this adventure, please opt out. Pregnant women should also skip this ride.
Closed captioning is available, as well as assistive listening devices. And most importantly, automated external defibrillators are on standby. Once you disembark, you'll understand why. This ride is meant to scare you like Blair Witch meets Gary Busey. It's not meant for kids.
Teenagers, adults, and thrill seekers will love this ride. It's not a fast ride, it's more like riding an out-of-control Jeep through the bumpy, rough terrain of the jungle. I recommend you also be able-bodied for this ride, because it's really quite jarring. Tap G, anything else you'd like to add?
Nope, and I'm not even going to bother saying anything more.
Well, why not?
Dude, who are we kidding? Oogie Boogie, Stitch, the Yeti, we both know it's only a matter of time before the Carnotaur breaks into the studio and terrorizes us before we wrap up.
Dude, Carnotauruses have been extinct for 65 million years.
And Oogie and Stitch are fictional characters, and the Yeti's existence is ambiguously imbued in folklore. That hasn't stopped him from breaking and entering.
Well then, let's sign off before that happens. Shall you do the honors?
Okay. Thanks, everyone. I'm Tap G.
And I'm Surfer Clock.
And thank you for listening to What's the Attraction, where our work is your vacation.
In other news, an asteroid the size of Texas is on its way to Earth and is expected to strike Kissimmee, Florida in the next 19 minutes.
Wait, what?